What's up? You're listening to the biggest podcast in the world right now. All right, that's the Tim Stevens broadcast. Bigger than Rogan. Bigger than Caller Daddy. Bigger than Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. With the Cat Williams episode. Which is fucking crazy, by the way. I don't know if you listen to that. That episode is so wild. Fucking Harvey Weinstein offered to suck his penis. That's crazy. That's so crazy. And it makes you wonder, like, what else has happened? Because we know a lot, you know, but what happens behind closed doors? Because there's shit that we'll just never hear about, you know? And, like, if Cat Williams wasn't hammered on that podcast, maybe we would never have known about that. Because, like, the Epstein flight logs came out. And, you know, fucking rip Stephen Hawking. That guy was a fucking pedophile. Like, through and through. And had a midget fetish. Which, like, I wouldn't even think his dick works. You know what I mean? Like, his face doesn't work. You would think his penis would also be out of the question. But I guess, I mean, it must have been working. Because he was fucking those midgets. I don't know. I would hate to be the poor person that got sex trafficked and was forced to fucking please Stephen Hawking. But, you know, so fuck that guy. What a fucking piece of shit. And, like, it's weird because he's, like, this brilliant mind who made all these scientific discoveries. He's, like, not the guy you would think is definitely a fucking monster. But he is. Michael Jackson, he was on the list. Obviously. Like, obviously he did it. There's no way that he didn't do that shit. Because there's too many people. There's too many kids that said he did it. To where it's like, yeah, obviously he did it. There's no way you can deny that he did it. You're living in delusion if you don't think Michael Jackson was a fucking diddler. Very obviously a diddler. Even if it, like, alright. Maybe not all of them, you know? Like, no, motherfucker, like, he at least did some of them. Even if it wasn't all of them. But it probably was all of them. Because, like, why would they lie? I mean, did they really get a lot of money out of it? If that's the thing, is like, well, they're just trying to get money off of Michael. How much money did they really get from it? You know, to be in the public eye for that long? About something so heinous. That motherfucker did it. He did it. But he's still the king of pop. You know, like, you can't take that away from him. You know, the music is still great. The music is still great. He's an awful person. Just terrible person. Definitely touch those kids. Really awful. Super villain. Really, super villain. But, beat it? You know what I mean? Like, that's a good fucking song. It's a really good song. When I was a kid, I loved Michael. I would wear the glove. I had one glove, and I would wear it. And I would do, like, I would, like, grab my dick and do the thing. You know, I was a huge Michael fan. They would play his, like, songs and shit on MTV, I believe it was. And they played the music videos and the fucking, what was that song? Remember the Time? Was that the name of that song where he's doing, like, the music video is like him in sand doing a bunch of Egyptian shit? Dog. I love that music video. I love that music video. I love Michael. I loved Michael. And he would have really liked me too. I feel like we could have had something special going on. But, you know, our paths just never crossed. But, you know, maybe I would have got some money off of him, you know what I mean? It's fucked up. Fucked up what happened to those kids. Fucked up what Michael did. He's still on the playlist. Cause he's one of the greats. You know? Like if R. Kelly made Michael Jackson level music, he'd still be popping. Like he would still be getting it. Alright. People would be like, oh, you know, you gotta separate the art from the artist. Which, like, people only say about the best of the best, like Kanye, who is a huge anti-Semite, but also the greatest artist of all time. So, you know, I like to say, I'm not gonna listen to that new album, you know, because he said all this terrible shit. But when the album comes out, shit might be different, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'll listen to it. Depends on how good it is. If it's really bad, if it's a bad album, I'll be like, see, I would never listen to that album because it's anti-Semitic. You know, he's an anti-Semite, and I can't condone that behavior. But if it's good, I'm gonna be like, you gotta separate the art from the artist on this one, bro. Like, it's one of the greatest of all time. Not one of the best, the greatest of all time. No one better. No one better than Kanye. Who else has been in the game for over 2 decades and is still reinventing himself with every new album? Who's doing that? Who's doing that? No one. No one except him. Like, you gotta give him credit. You don't have, you know, what he said was awful. Awful. But he made fucking Graduation, didn't he? He made fucking Donda was really good. Like, he still got it. He still got it. And who else still has it? That's been in the game that long. Who? Like, Lil Wayne, right? And Lil Wayne's the best rapper in terms of rapping ability ever, in my opinion. I love Lil Wayne. Always have. Always will. But he's also doing, like, the same shit that he's always done, kind of, you know? Like, it's all the same vibe. He's not really reinventing himself. And then you look at Kanye, who's, like, decent at rapping, but he's just, as an artist, fucking incredible. You know, so he's the only guy. He's the only guy that's still innovating on himself that much. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why it took him having to say that he likes Hitler for people to be like, all right. Man, this guy, we gotta do something about this guy. But, it's fucked up that he said that. But did you listen to The Life of Pablo? Like, that album's amazing. That's his best album. But, you know, we'll see what happens when the new album comes out. Maybe that won't be something I listen to. Because I heard that I didn't listen to that single that he put out with Ty Dolla $ign. Didn't listen to it. Because I heard it was ass. And so I was like, I can't support that anti-Semite. But I don't know. I mean, he's still producing for Cardi, those new singles that he's been releasing. Which I only listened to 2024. And I really liked it. I haven't listened to the rest because they're not on Spotify. They're only on YouTube. Who the fuck listens to music on YouTube? It's the objectively worst platform for listening to music on. You don't get a Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year. That's the only reason I have Spotify. Because every other music platform, I mean, it's the same shit. You click play, you hear the song. But on Spotify, I get Spotify Wrapped. So I'm going to go with Spotify. Because at the end of the year, when everyone's posting their Spotify Wrapped, I can feel included and like I'm part of the cool kid club. So I'm going with Spotify. But I don't know. I hope that album drops. soon the new Playboi Carti album, because Whole Lotta Red was really good. It hasn't aged as well for me, I don't think, where I loved it on release. I feel like I had the opposite happen to me, where I saw a lot of people hating on it at release, and they were like, wow, we waited this long and it's this ass. And I was listening to the album, I was like, this album's fucking great. It's so good. I mean, Feel Like Dying, the ending track, kind of sucks ass. It is not his best work. But everything else on that album was pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. New Tank, that's one of his best songs. So I'm hoping, you know, Music, which I think that's just the title. It's just music. Or like I Am Music. Which, you know, that motherfucker's music. That motherfucker is music. Carti's so good. Carti's so good. I've been in love with Carti since day one. Alright? When Magnolia started blowing up and he started to get a lot of steam, I was fucking with him. I love Playboi Carti. Even though he did choke that woman. But you gotta separate. He's really good. He's good enough to where you gotta overlook that. I'm not fucking hanging out with the guy. You know what I mean? It's not like we're buddies. So it's fine. It's fine. He didn't choke me. You know, like, bad guy, great music, which is just often the case. You know, all these great people, so many geniuses end up being awful people. Some way worse than others, right? Like Michael Jackson being a fucking pedophile is significantly worse than Playboi Carti choking that woman. But I don't know. The Epstein list is crazy. So many people on there. Stephen Hawking's definitely the most surprising. Who else was on there? Like James Gunn, I think, was on there. But did he do anything? Because a lot of those guys didn't do anything. So it's also like who was on there that actually did stuff, and who was on there that fucking was just like, yeah, I talked to the guy once, didn't know what was going on. Like who, you know, who actually did shit. You know, hopefully we find out definitively like who was actually a insane pedophile and who was just mentioned by name, you know. But Clinton was on there. Bill Clinton, been saying it since day one. All right, I have been saying this for years, that guy is a fucking piece of shit. And Norm Macdonald was right. The Clintons murdered a guy. And Bill's a pedophile. Bill's a pedophile. He's on the list. He's mentioned in the documents as liking them young. All right, Bill Clinton's a pedophile. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. And that's why Hillary couldn't lead the country. Because her husband was a pedophile. And cheated on her. You know, she was never going to win that. But Trump was also on this list. And just fuck him. Fuck that guy. I hope that motherfucker has a bad day. I don't want to say I hope he dies. Maybe in a video game, you know, but I don't want anyone coming after me, you know. I don't want to get put on a list. But maybe like in a video game, I hope he dies. I hope that motherfucker dies, dude. I hate that guy. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. Biden. He's just old. He just gotta give it up. But his response to the Israel and Palestine conflict is just, it's not there. It's not there. That's a crazy conflict right now. And I'm not gonna act like I know everything. But I know a genocide when I see one. And, and shout out Jews. I don't want anyone to think I'm anti-Semitic. Shout out Jews. Love those Jews. Fucked up what they're doing over there, though. But that's not all Jews. I'm telling people that, right? Because a lot of my friends, they're teetering on the edge of like becoming anti-Semitic, right? But I gotta tell them, like, hey, not all Jews are rocking with what's happening over there. That's the Israeli government. It just so happens to be a Jewish ran government, but it's not, doesn't speak for all Jews. So I think a lot of people, that's why hate crimes occur, right? Because people are like, oh, they must speak for everyone, which isn't the case. Most people in the world are like Christian, right? But no one's ever like, oh, that one Christian speaks for all Christians, But for some reason, for Jews, people are like, oh yeah, it's a society, it's a secret society, and they're trying to run us out. Like, no, dog, it's not all of them. Alright? It's fucked up what's happening there. It's fucked up what's happening over there. But with the way things are now, like, you can kind of get put into that echo chamber of just, like, hate and end up anti-Semitic. It's a really easy thing to do. Like, I remember when I was in middle school and being in that kind of, like, right-wing pipeline that they would put you in, where it's, like, feminist wrecked compilation. This fucking blue-haired SJW gets scolded by Ben Shapiro with cold hard facts, and I would watch it and I'd be like, oh my god, get him, Ben. But I got out of it, but I was lucky because my family is progressive, so they would check me every time, Not a lot of people have that. A lot of people gotta figure that shit out on their own, and hopefully they get out of it. And if they don't get out of it, well, then they're Steven Crowder guys. Who is a fruit, by the way. That guy's a huge fruit. He just gotta accept that about himself. He likes boys. He likes boys. He was a theater major. Which, theater major, gets homophobic. That's internalized homophobia. He's gay. Listen, Steven, buddy. Steven's my middle name, One Steven to another. It's okay, dude. Be gay, dude. No one's gonna care. Like, you'll be a happier guy if you just accept that about yourself. There's nothing wrong with being gay. Nothing wrong with being a little boy fucker. I'm cool with that. You just gotta be cool with that, with yourself. I think a lot of those guys are just actually gay. Like that one guy, that younger dude, he was like running for Congress. I think, last, what is it, 2 years ago now? When the fuck did we vote? 2 years ago, midterms, right? What was his name? Was it Cawthorn? Was it Madison Cawthorn? Was that him? Yeah, guy in a wheelchair. I think Chappelle just did a joke about him recently. In his recent special, which he's just like actually transphobic now. From what I've seen, I haven't watched the full special yet. And people were freaking out about his last one because they were like, he's transphobic. I watched it. It was just like old man opinions. But from what I've seen, the recent one, now he's just like actually transphobic. But I think it's because he was pushed there. You know, because people were trying to like take away his career. And they didn't watch the actual special. But whatever. I mean, now he's transphobic. It is what it is. You know, like I said, a lot of geniuses are bad people. The fuck was I talking? Oh yeah, this guy Madison Cawthorn. I think that's him. He was a Republican guy, younger dude, wheelchair bound. And it came out that when he still had legs, he was wrestling naked with his homie. And he was like, we were just roughhousing. Nah, dog. You got some boy fucker in you. You just got some boy fucker in you. And that's cool. That's cool. But you can't be out here being homophobic. And you're doing shit like that, dog. Like, you're gay. You're gay. And that's alright. Just accept that part of yourself, bro. Accept that part of yourself. And I'm sure that, you know, you'll get a nice little gay guy and he'll come and he'll ride you in that wheelchair. And you'll have a good time. Because you like it. Because you're gay. And that's alright. Shout out gays. That's what I'm trying to say. And fuck Republicans. You know? Fuck those guys. They divide the nation. But, yeah, we'll see how this next election turns out. This one could go either way. But I know who I'm voting for. Big B. Till I die. You know, get Biden tattooed on my neck. You know I'm fucking with him. I'm not fucking with him. I don't like this guy. But it's not a happy vote that I have to cast. But it's my duty. My civil duty. But here's the thing. I live in Florida. It's going to Trump. Like, the state's going to him. There's no way. Bro, things in recent years have gotten so bad in Florida. I just took a trip to Oregon. Oregon's a blue state. Which is crazy. Because there's so many small towns in Oregon. I was in fucking Bend. Population like 100,000. So this is a smaller city. 90% white, 9% Hispanic. And then that last 1% is like, you know, there was like 3 black dudes and 1 Hawaiian guy. Like that's it. But it's blue. It's such a weird thing because most places like that are that white are always red because, you know, they're looking out for their own interests. It was just such a insane thing to see. And then come back to Florida where it's really diverse. And it's red. Why? You know, like y'all gotta look out for each other, you know, like, you're not looking out for everyone's, but I think it's because, like, right now a lot of people can unite and put the racial biases aside and just unite at homophobia in Florida right now, because holy shit, things are getting homophobic here. It's really bad. What's happening to the state I love? Fucking Miami went red. Miami! That's crazy. I don't know what St. Pete's doing. St. Pete's a gay-ass area. So, I wonder if it stayed blue. Wonder if my district stayed blue. But I don't know. I haven't looked at the voting map. But, definitely not looking too good. Which sucks, because I don't really want to leave Florida that much. It's beautiful. But if things keep going the way they're going, I'm not raising a kid here. Like I'm not risking my kid coming out as some fucking right-wing hog. So, but hopefully things turn around. Love wins, as they say. We'll see. But like being in Oregon, there's like pride flags everywhere. Like that's cool. I like to see that shit. I like to see it. Didn't get to ride a snowmobile though, which I was looking forward to. But that's alright. I still saw snow, it just wasn't enough for the snowmobile. But speaking of snowmobile, Jeremy Renner, saw he's going back to work again. He got ran over by a snowplow. You think his dick still works? Because it crushes legs, right? I mean, it's kind of where your dick is. But I think he can walk. But I don't think the cartilage on your cock will heal in the same way a bone would. So I wonder if it's still usable. Or if he like lost a ball or something. He wouldn't talk about that. But I would like to know. I would just love to know. But we've been going at it for 26 minutes now. I think I talked about everything I want to talk about. I think this came out well. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to go brush my teeth because it's 11 in the morning and I still haven't done that. So thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the Tim Stevens broadcast. New episodes relatively frequently. And bye.